Welcome back to B&B Spoilers channel. Today, we will learn about the issue that has been dominating conversations across soap opera forums and social media platforms for weeks now. The seismic shift in The Bold and The Beautiful's narrative landscape has left fans reeling, particularly regarding the shocking and seemingly final departure of Luna Nozawa, a character whose complex journey captivated audiences and whose exit has opened a Pandora's box of speculation about potential twin storylines, resurrection theories, and the future of any winning actress Lisa Yamada within the B&B universe. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that we have to consider the possibility of a long-lost twin story for Luna Nozawa, a narrative device that could fundamentally alter the show's trajectory and provide an ingenious solution to what many viewers perceive as a hasty creative decision. Could the show deliver a twist that could change everything we thought we knew about the Nozawa family dynamics and the Spencer legacy? The writers have demonstrated a penchant for dramatic reversals, and this particular theory has gained remarkable traction among the show's dedicated fanbase, who have been meticulously dissecting every clue, every line of dialogue, and every cryptic expression from remaining characters that might hint at deeper secrets yet to be uncovered. In a major exit shocker that sent tremors through the daytime television community, Luna was killed off after stepping in front of a moving vehicle during all the escape drama that had been building for months. The scene unfolded with brutal finality on screen, yet seasoned soap opera enthusiasts know that death is rarely permanent in this genre, and the circumstances surrounding Luna's demise have raised more questions than answers. Fans are still feeling the profound sting over the show's decision to get rid of Luna so abruptly and bring her story to a screeching halt, especially given the substantial investment viewers had made in understanding her motivations, her complicated relationship with her mother Poppy, and her increasingly tangled connections to the Spencer family. The controversy extends far beyond the mere fact of Luna's death, delving into the morally complex territory that defined her final story arc. At the same time, many viewers were disgusted over Luna violating Will Spencer and acting like they made a baby out of love, a deception that represented one of the most heinous betrayals in recent B&B memory. The storyline forced audiences to grapple with uncomfortable questions about consent, manipulation, and the lengths to which a desperate character might go to secure a future. Luna eventually acknowledged that what she did was wrong, but it was too little. Too late to salvage her reputation or redeem her in the eyes of a fanbase that had watched her transform from sympathetic figure to manipulative antagonist. The moral complexity of this arc, while compelling from a dramatic standpoint, may have ultimately painted the writers into a narrative corner from which escape seemed impossible without fundamentally altering the character's essence. It's possible the writers felt they'd written Luna into a gross corner that it'd be hard to recover from. A creative dilemma that has plagued soap opera scribes for decades when characters become irredeemable in the audience's eyes. That might have been part of the reason B&B ultimately wiped Luna off the map and tried to just brush past this whole mess, treating her death as a necessary evil to cleanse the narrative palette and move forward with other pressing storylines involving the Forrester, Logan, and Spencer families. However, the execution felt rushed to many long-time viewers, who noted that such a significant character deserved a more drawn-out exit or at least a redemption arc that could have restored some of her earlier sympathetic qualities. The abruptness suggests either backstage complications, a sudden creative pivot, or perhaps a deliberate planting of seeds for a future revelation that will make sense only in retrospect. However, Lisa Yamada is a talented performer who recently won a Daytime Emmy and seems quite well-liked by the cast and crew, making her departure all the more puzzling from a talent management perspective. The actress brought a unique vulnerability and intensity to Luna that elevated even the most problematic storylines, infusing her performance with subtle layers that hinted at deeper psychological wounds driving her destructive choices. Her Emmy victory validated what discerning viewers had long recognized, that Yamada possessed the rare ability to make audiences empathize with a character whose actions were increasingly difficult to justify. It's a shame Yamada had to go, but there's always the possibility she could return as another character entirely. A soap opera tradition that has allowed many actors to reinvent themselves within the same fictional universe. What if Luna has a long-lost twin out there somewhere? A narrative bombshell that would instantly rank among B&B's most memorable twists. We wouldn't put it past Poppy Nozawa to hide a secret like that, given her history of deception and her complicated relationship with the truth. But it's also possible Poppy assumed the other baby died at birth, a tragic circumstance that would add layers of grief and guilt to her character's already complex psychological profile. The twin theory opens up fascinating possibilities for exploring nature versus nurture, as a Luna duplicate raised in different circumstances might exhibit similar mannerisms but make entirely different life choices. Instead, maybe Poppy had another baby girl who was stolen from her, perhaps by a rival from her past or someone seeking revenge against the Nozawa family, creating a mystery that could span generations and connect to other established characters in unexpected ways. It might be an interesting curveball if Luna's twin enters the picture and is mistakenly accused of being a resurrected Luna at first, creating instant conflict and suspicion among characters who believe they had finally escaped Luna's toxic influence. The long-lost sister story could eventually unravel and give Finn a chance to be a real father to a daughter who perhaps isn't a total lunatic, offering redemption for a character who has struggled to connect with his biological children in meaningful ways. This new daughter might possess Luna's artistic talents, but channel them constructively, or she could have developed a completely different skill set that makes her valuable to Forrester Creations, thereby integrating her into the show's central business storylines. The resemblance would be uncanny, yet the differences in personality would be stark enough to convince even the most skeptical characters that this truly is a different person. Of course, in classic soap fashion, another twist could potentially hit once everyone lets their guard down and accepts this new character into their lives. Maybe it could eventually come out that Luna really is alive and simply posing as this twin to score the new life she's always wanted. A meta-deception that would represent one of the most ambitious long cons in daytime television history. This scenario would require elaborate planning, perhaps involving payoffs to coroners, falsified DNA tests, and a complete identity overhaul, suggesting Luna had been plotting her resurrection long before her apparent death. Bonus points if Luna's fake twin actually gets together with Will, creating a heartbreaking situation where Will falls for the very person who destroyed his life, only to discover the truth at the most devastating possible moment. The emotional fallout would ripple through every family on the canvas, forcing characters to confront their capacity for forgiveness and the true meaning of redemption. Bottom line, there are ways to undo Luna's demise and keep Lisa Yamada around if B&B wants to go there, including variations on the twin theme that could satisfy both viewers who miss Yamada's presence and those who felt Luna's story had reached its natural conclusion. The soap opera genre has survived for decades by constantly reinventing itself, finding innovative ways to bring back beloved performers while maintaining narrative continuity. The show could introduce the twin first, establish her as a distinct character with her own agenda, and only later reveal the Luna connection, thereby maximizing dramatic impact and giving Yamada the opportunity to showcase her range by playing to markedly different personalities. Next, we are diving deep into a wild Thanksgiving week in Los Angeles where Luna's tragic fate, corporate betrayal, and a chilling new mystery collide on the bold and the beautiful. This expanded breakdown unpacks Dylan's shocking return, Katie's career crisis, Bill's bold offer, the eerie texts haunting Katie and Elektra, and to Thanksgiving dinners that could blow every secret sky high. Luna's fate shakes the canvas. Luna Nozawa's desperate escape and reported death do not just make headlines, they send emotional shockwaves through every corner of Los Angeles, turning a private tragedy into a public spectacle that the Forresters, Spencers, and Sharp households cannot ignore as the week opens. Sheila Sharp, who originally saw Luna as a pawn to keep tabs on Remy and the Forresters, finds herself blindsided by the depth of her own grief, struggling with guilt because somewhere along the line the tool became family in her twisted, fiercely protective heart. Deacon watches Sheila spiral and cannot understand how the woman who once weaponized Luna's trust now mourns her like a lost daughter. And in his frustration, he leans on Taylor Hayes, unloading his fear that Luna's death will reopen every dark chapter of Sheila's past, from Hayes Finnegan's earlier trauma to the beach house chaos that never really healed for anyone involved. Katie's career shattered at Forrester. At Forrester Creations, Katie Logan races into work expecting to handle a crisis the way she always has, ready to shape the company's official response as Luna's death and flight from the beach house explode across social media and gossip sites. But instead she runs headfirst into a professional nightmare. Before Katie can even draft a statement, Brooke Logan Forrester calmly announces that PR is already being handled, and Katie slowly realizes she is no longer the head of public relations. A brutal discovery that feels less like a corporate reorganization and more like a personal betrayal manufactured behind closed doors by people she trusted. The demotion hits Katie on multiple levels. She is humiliated that the fashion world will see her as expendable, furious that no one warned her, and quietly terrified that losing this position at Forrester means losing the sense of purpose she rebuilt after so many heartbreaks, especially when she begins to suspect that her removal is connected to deeper power plays involving Ridge, Brooke, and the need to distance the company from anything tied to Luna's scandal. Bill's bold proposition. When Bill Spencer hears that Katie has been pushed out of her role, he does not waste a second before turning her crisis into an opportunity, arriving with that familiar mix of charm, swagger, and genuine concern as he lays a tempting offer on the table. Bill pitches Spencer Publications as a place where Katie's voice will not only be valued, but amplified, promising her real control over messaging, digital strategy, and cause-driven campaigns. And he sweetens the deal by insisting that there is room for both Katie and their son Will, subtly dangling the dream of a united professional and family front under his powerful media empire. The moment Katie allows a slow, sly smile to cross her face, viewers can feel the wheels turning. This is not just about a job, but about revenge and reinvention. As Katie weighs how satisfying it would be to use Bill's resources to compete directly with Forrester's narrative machine, while also asking herself whether Bill's motivation is purely business or yet another attempt to pull her back into his orbit emotionally. Mystery messages and Ms. Dylan's confession. While Katie weighs Bill's proposal, her phone lights up with a strange, anonymous text, and across town Electra Forrester receives an almost identical message. Each one vague enough to be brushed off, but specific enough about Luna to feel like a veiled threat or a cry for help from someone who knows far too much. Electra, already rattled, is thrown further when Ms. Dylan, the art teacher who once guided young Hayes Forrester Finnegan and later ended up bound in the beach house fiasco during the shooting storyline, appears at Forrester Creations with haunted eyes and a quiet resolve, telling Electra she has a confession that could change everything the Forrester, Finnegan, and Spencer families think they know about Luna's final days. As Ms. Dylan reveals that someone else, possibly Remy Price, or an unseen accomplice was manipulating events from the shadows, and that Luna may have been running from a setup rather than from her own mistakes, the promise that Dylan is back suddenly becomes more than a casting shocker. It signals the start of a new investigative arc where past victims take control of the narrative. And even Thanksgiving gatherings risk becoming battlegrounds for the truth. For viewers who crave layered psychological fallout and creatively expanded twists, this chapter leans hard into that kind of depth and slow burn tension that this audience has consistently responded to in similar storylines. Dangerous truths at Thanksgiving dinners. As the holiday arrives, John Finn Finnegan and Steffi Forrester Finnegan host a carefully curated Thanksgiving dinner meant to project unity and calm after weeks of chaos. inviting Ridge Forrester as their special guest in the hope that family closeness can anchor them while Luna's death hangs over the Cliff House like a storm cloud. Across town, Deacon and Sheila set a very different kind of table, asking Carter Walton and Daphne Rose to join them for Thanksgiving in what looks like a fresh start but feels more like a pressure cooker, especially when Sheila keeps circling back to Luna's memory and Deacon keeps glancing at his phone, half expecting Taylor or the authorities to call with news that their connection to Luna's downfall is under renewed scrutiny. As the episode builds toward its final beats, the two parallel dinners, one polished and seemingly respectable, the other raw and emotionally combustible, become the perfect stage for secrets to detonate. Carter and Daphne begin to suspect that their hosts know far more about Luna's last hours than they admit. Ridge senses that Finn and Steffi are holding back something huge about Hayes and Ms. Dylan, and just when everyone thinks they have survived the holiday, a knock at the door and the reappearance of Dylan promise that the real story of Luna Nozawa's fate is only just beginning. Next, we will learn about the explosive casting controversy that has set the soap opera world ablaze, sending shockwaves through the loyal viewer base and sparking intense debates across every social media platform. The Bold and the Beautiful, CBS's crown jewel daytime drama, finds itself at the center of a perfect storm of fan discontent that has evolved from quiet murmurs into a full-blown rebellion, with actress Rebecca Budig's portrayal of the iconic Dr. Taylor Hayes becoming the focal point of unprecedented viewer backlash that threatens to reshape the landscape of the beloved series. The speculation about potential behind-the-scenes turbulence has reached fever pitch as dedicated fans, who have invested decades in following the trials and tribulations of the Forrester family, have grown increasingly vocal about their dissatisfaction with the current interpretation of one of the show's most pivotal characters, Dr. Taylor Hayes, a psychiatrist whose complicated romantic entanglements with Ridge Forrester and complicated friendships with Brooke Logan have defined generations of storyline arcs, represents far more than just another cast member. She embodies the emotional heart and psychological complexity that has kept viewers tuning in for over 3 decades. When such a foundational character fails to resonate with the audience, the ripple effects extend far beyond simple casting preferences, potentially impacting ratings, advertiser relationships, and the very future direction of the series itself. The digital sphere has transformed into a battleground where passionate viewers articulate their disappointment with surgical precision, pointing to specific moments where they believe the character's essence has been lost. Social media platforms buzz with detailed critiques as fans meticulously dissect scene after scene, highlighting instances where Taylor's trademark sophistication, emotional depth, and moral compass seem to have been diluted. Veteran viewers who remember Hunter Tylo's definitive portrayal speak wistfully of the character's former gravitas, while newer fans express confusion about Taylor's motivations and relevance in current storylines. This collective sense of disconnect has fueled a movement that grows stronger with each passing episode, as viewers who once accepted casting changes with cautious optimism now demand decisive action from the show's powers that be. Amidst this chaos, a compelling alternative has emerged that has captured the imagination of disillusioned fans and industry insiders alike. Stacey Haydock, the formidable talent who currently embodies the deliciously villainous Kristen DiMera on NBC's Days of Our Lives. The suggestion didn't arise from random fan casting, but from a sophisticated understanding of what makes soap opera magic work. Haydock's name entered the conversation organically, as viewers who watched her masterfully navigate Kristen's complex evolution from pure antagonist to multifaceted anti-hero recognized the same qualities that once made Taylor Hayes unforgettable. The parallels between the characters are striking. Both are women of intense passion, capable of profound love and devastating betrayal, whose actions reverberate through their respective fictional universes with earth-shattering consequences. The campaign for Haydock to inherit the role of Taylor Hayes has gained remarkable traction, transforming from idle speculation into a coordinated movement complete with hashtags, fan art, and detailed video essays that make compelling cases for the recasting. Supporters point to Hayduke's extraordinary range, her ability to convey vulnerability beneath a steely exterior, and her proven chemistry with soap opera leading men as evidence that she could restore Taylor to her former glory. One particularly persuasive fan manifesto circulating on Twitter argues that Hayduke possesses the perfect alchemy of elegance, intensity, and emotional authenticity that Taylor Hayes demands, a quality that has been noticeably absent since the character's latest incarnation. Another viewer posted an elaborate side-by-side comparison video showing Hayduke's most powerful scenes as Kristen DiMera alongside classic Taylor Hayes moments, highlighting the actress's capacity for the kind of layered performance that defined the character during her peak popularity periods. The financial implications of such a casting change cannot be overstated in an era where daytime television faces unprecedented competition from streaming platforms, social media, and countless other entertainment options. The Bold and the Beautiful has experienced measurable ratings erosion in key demographics, particularly among the coveted 18 to 49 age group that advertisers prize above all others. Industry analysts who monitor soap opera performance metrics have noted a troubling trend: viewership spikes during classic episode reruns and anniversary specials, suggesting that audiences crave the dramatic sophistication and character-driven storytelling that define the show's golden eras. Bringing in an actress of Hayduke's caliber and recognition factor could theoretically reverse this decline, generating the kind of media buzz that translates into renewed viewer interest, increased social media engagement, and ultimately, higher advertising revenue that justifies the show's continued production. Hayduke's current role as Kristen DiMera places her in an enviable but complicated position that makes any potential move to CBS highly improbable, yet tantalizingly possible. Days of Our Lives, having transitioned to the Peacock streaming platform, operates under a different production model and audience measurement system than its network counterparts. While this shift has allowed the show to explore more adventurous storytelling, it has also created uncertainty about long-term contracts and actor loyalty. Hayduke has cultivated a devoted following as Kristen, a character she has infused with such delicious malevolence and unexpected pathos that fans simultaneously root for and against her. The actress has mastered the art of soap opera villainy, delivering performances that balance camp, menace, and genuine heartbreak, a skill set that would translate perfectly to Taylor Hayes' complex psychology. Behind the scenes, the soap opera industry operates as a small, interconnected community where actors, writers, and producers frequently cross-pollinate between shows. The suggestion that Hayduke could make the leap from Salem to Los Angeles isn't as far-fetched as casual viewers might assume. Contract negotiations, creative differences, and strategic career moves happen constantly, often beneath the radar of public awareness. Sources within the daytime television community have whispered about CBS executives monitoring the online discourse with unusual interest, recognizing that the passion behind the Hayduke suggestion represents an opportunity to generate the kind of viewer investment that money cannot buy. The network has faced similar casting crossroads before, and history demonstrates that listening to vocal fan bases, while not always decisive, frequently influences decision-making processes when ratings and reputation hang in the balance. The character of Taylor Hayes herself deserves deeper examination to understand why this recasting conversation has reached such intensity. Created as a brilliant psychiatrist who could match wits with the fashion world's most powerful players, Taylor evolved into a symbol of resilience, repeatedly surviving death, betrayal, and heartbreak while maintaining her professional dignity and personal integrity. Her relationships with Ridge, with Brooke, with her children Steffi and Thomas provided the show with its most compelling emotional core, exploring themes of forgiveness, redemption, and the complicated nature of love. When portrayed effectively, Taylor represents the moral center that anchors the often outrageous storylines in Human Truth. Fans argue that this essential quality has been missing, reducing Taylor to a peripheral figure rather than the formidable presence who could challenge Brooke Logan's dominance and complicate Ridge's affections. The technical aspects of soap opera production further complicate any potential casting change, as the show operates on a breakneck schedule that demands immediate chemistry and flawless execution. A new Taylor Hayes wouldn't simply need to deliver lines convincingly, she would need to instantly mesh with established performers like Torsten Kaye, Catherine Kelly Lang, and Jacqueline MacInnes Wood, creating believable history and emotional continuity. Hayduke's extensive soap opera resume suggests she possesses the professional adaptability to meet this challenge. Having previously worked with many of the Bold and the Beautiful's current cast members during her stints on other daytime dramas, her ability to establish instant rapport with scene partners while maintaining character integrity has become legendary among soap opera veterans who understand the unique pressures of daily production schedules. Meanwhile, Rebecca Budig remains in the role, delivering her interpretation of Taylor Hayes despite the mounting criticism that has transformed her social media mentions into a minefield of negativity. Budig, a talented actress with her own devoted following from previous roles, finds herself in the unenviable position of following a beloved performer while navigating a character whose current writing provides limited opportunity for the kind of show-stopping moments that win viewer affection. The situation reflects a broader challenge facing the Bold and the Beautiful, balancing respect for legacy characters with the need to evolve and attract new audiences. Budig's continued presence suggests that either the show's leadership remains confident in her long-term potential or that contractual and logistical complications prevent an immediate change, forcing fans to wait and wonder whether their voices will ultimately influence the show's direction. The passionate discourse surrounding this casting controversy ultimately reveals something profound about the relationship between long-running soap operas and their dedicated viewers. These shows become part of fans' daily lives, their characters feeling as real and important as actual family members. When a recasting fails to connect, the disappointment runs deeper than simple entertainment preferences. It represents a betrayal of trust, a breaking of the implicit contract between storyteller and audience. The Hayduke movement, therefore, isn't just about preferring one actress over another, it's about fans advocating for the soul of a show they love, demanding that its most precious characters receive the caliber of performance they deserve. Whether CBS and the Bold and the Beautiful's production team will respond to this fervent plea remains uncertain, but the conversation itself has achieved what months of standard promotion could not, reigniting passionate discussion about the show's present and future possibilities.